provide you a global demonstration and an introduction of our solution. However, we have also want to show you that we have some new solutions available for all the engineers out there. And this is what we want to focus on today. But before I do that, let me just introduce myself properly. My name is Tim Profite. I'm a key account manager at Total Materia. And next to me sitting my friend and colleague, Stefan.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's global webinar. My name is Stefan. I directly work with Tim. So today I hope that you're going to find this session interactive. And in case you have any questions whatsoever, please use the chat function right on your screens.
Thank you, Stefan. So, what does Total Materia do? What kind of solutions do we provide? Well, you know, in the past, we have always had Total Materia, our database. This is now called Total Materia Horizon, where you'll be able to find all the approved materials, the fatigue data, you can see chemical compositions, but most of all, very important, where do we get this information from? Still, we get this directly from the sources, directly from the standards. These standards provide us with 37,000 standards from all over the world. And we have around over 700,000 materials coming from those standards and also coming from proprietary sources as well. And this information gets updated every month of the year. So as soon as we get new information, this is a new standard coming out, a new proprietary source coming out, we immediately update this into Total Materia. Yes. But we also have other solutions. And what are those other solutions? First of all, we have our Total Materia Integrator. This is a private data management solution where you can add your own legacy materials, your test data, your CAE data. Also, you can approve your own materials. We can install this online on your own server, or we can install this inside the Total Materia server. This will improve your workflow, and also what we can do is make an API connection and integrate all your approved materials inside a PLM system as well. However, we also have a new solution. We have two new solutions that we developed this year. One is called the Predictor. What is the Predictor? Well, the Predictor kind of says it already. We can, through machine learning, we can now predict material properties and information and values. Yes. So because we have over 700,000 materials inside Total Materia, we can now, through machine learning, easily predict those materials and information. Yes. So instead of you guys testing your own information, and this will cost you a lot of money, you can use our predictor now. Instead of testing 20 materials, you might just have to test only one. Also, what's new and what we'll go a little bit more deeper in the later stage is Green Line. This is also very new. So every engineer needs to know if a material that they're using is compliant according to a certain regulation. Yes. So we have now updated our compliance inside the Green Line solution. What you can also do is import your bill of materials inside Total Materia to assess in one time to see if they're compliant. All these lists of materials, bill of materials, are compliant according to a certain regulation. You can add multiple regulations and then export this back onto an Excel sheet. Also, what's really new is our life cycle assessment. It is so important that you understand what the life cycle is of a material. Yes, what is the carbon emissions? Or is this material toxic? What's happened in the material's life? This is so important, and Stefan will go into more deeper on this topic a little bit later. Also, sharing information is very important. Yes, so now you can share links, create your own reports, do material selection, also add simulation data to the Total Materia solution as well. So we non-stop develop. Completely every month of the year, you'll probably find some new development inside Total Materia. Yes, so very important is again the compliance. Yes, you need to understand if that material is compliant according to those regulations. You really need to follow those regulations that those countries are giving you. What's new again is sustainability. You can now find inside Total Materia the CO2 footprint, and you'll be able to find a more greener available material. Also, the supply chain, finding those global available equivalents. Quality, reverse engineering. So if you have a material that you don't know which material this is, you can then do a spectroanalysis, and this chemical composition that you get from the spectro, you will be able to put inside Total Materia to see to identify what this material is. Also, you'll be able to see a lot of advanced properties and nonlinear data. You'll be able to find all this data inside Total Materia. So instead of doing your own testing, it would be a good idea first to see if we have this information inside our solution. And also very important for the design community, material selection. So through our advanced search, you can actually add some criteria and values and temperatures, and then find that material that you want to use for a certain product. So also, what do we solve actually? Well, a lot of engineers are trying to find information online or on Excel sheets, on PDFs or some brochures, but is this information updated? Do you have the correct values? If you use those incorrect values in your calculations, what would the outcome be? And this is something that Total Materia can really help you with, because we have a lot of data and this data gets non-stop updated. Also, if you have any compliance issue, or if you need traceability, or if you want to lower the costs of the material to find maybe more available, cheaper equivalent material, you'll be able to find this inside Total Materia. So, as I said, we have 80 standard organizations which provide 37,000 standards with proprietary sources. We have over 700,000 materials. Because we have so many materials, you'll easily be able to find an equivalent available material from all around the world. You can share this information, create your own reports to justify that material decision that you're making. You can do material selection, like I said before. You can identify materials. We even have different kinds of information, for example, joint data, welding data, advanced properties, compliance data, and all of the states that we have inside Total Materia, you can then upload onto your tool. ANSYS, Abacus, Creo, or even an Excel sheet if you don't have one of these tools. So this is just a slide to actually maybe to say, boast about how much information that we have. We have a lot of European standards, a lot of North American standards, and a lot of Asian standards as well. And all of these standards actually are connecting with each other to provide you with an equivalent material. However, we also have a lot of proprietary data as well. And this is very important because this proprietary data is providing us information, those missing gaps of information that the standards do not provide. But what they also provide is a lot of information for non-metallic materials, those polymers or composites or fibers or even wood information that you'll be able to find inside the solution as well. All right, I'm going to show you a small video of our Total Materia Horizon. And normally what we do is we go actually inside the database, but now we will show you a small recording so we can have the time to show you the other informations as well. So this is, I think most of you have already seen this. This is our Total Materia Horizon solution. At the top here, you'll be able to see all the data sets that we have, where you can find the data that you might be needing. Let's start with Total Search. Total Search has a few functionalities. We have the quick search, the advanced search, the standard list, and the material discovery. Quick search is where you'll be able to add the material designation that you might be looking for, press and search, and then find that material with those properties that you might be looking for. Just please beware, with a quick search, you can only add material designations, alphanumerical and numerical material designations. If you write here a standard or a heat treatment or a producer, you will not find the information that you're looking for. However, at the bottom, we do have some filters. Yes, you can choose the type of material. You can choose the group of material. Yes, do you need a ferroalloy or non-ferroalloy? You can also choose the standard and also the producer in the filters. If you're looking for a standard, you can go to our standard list. Here you can add the standard or the CAS number and then find that information from that typical standard as well. Advanced search is material selection, and material discovery is finding a material through a clean canvas. So this is also quite interesting as well. Now we're going to look for material 304. Yes, this is a stainless steel. We pressed on search, and then we found the AISI standard organization. We pressed on that, and then you'll be able to see all the information that this material is providing. We have mechanical properties, physical properties, our cross-referencing table where you can find an equivalent material. You can see that we have almost 3,000 equivalents from around the world that are providing us with equivalent information. We'll be able to see the tracker data set as well, where you'll be able to see the history of a material. What has happened in the last month, last year, last 20 years in this material, you'll be able to see this in our tracker module. We have two kinds of views. Synthetic view, that means you'll be able to see the approximate values or the minimum to maximum values of all the properties according to a certain temperature. But we also have a detailed view, which I will show you later, where you can find all the reference data and all the detailed information regarding every information. We also have on the right-hand side, you'll be able to see the fast menu, and you just saw passing by a microstructure, but we also have a lot of advanced properties. Here you can see some stress strain diagrams you'll be able to find. We also have joints data where you'll be able to find the chemical composition and also, the chemical composition and also the some of the properties as well. I think I made a mistake. Here we go. I just need to go back to the right part. Sorry about this. And then let's go back to the material. Here you'll be able to find the properties, mechanical and physical properties, but a lot of the properties also have multi-points, different temperatures, different properties with their values. And because of this, we can make also diagrams. And these diagrams you can hover over and you'll be able to see their values more closely. Also, all the information that you can find inside Total Materia, you can then forward on to a report, just to justify that material decision that you're making. Also, every information that we have, you can export onto a solver. Yes, are you using ANSYS or Creo or SolidWorks? Anything that you might be using, you can then upload onto your solver by using our CAX to export. You can then choose the properties that you want to see, that you want to export, for example, yield strength or tensile strength. You can then choose the conditions that you might to upload, and there's those temperatures, press on export, and then you'll be able to get that format that you need to upload this onto your solver. All right, this is going really fast here, so I just need to catch my breath. So we're now going to our cross-referencing table. Through our cross-referencing table, you'll be able to find an equivalent material from all around the world. Yes, we have identical equivalent materials that are coming from the standards. We also have equivalency official. So according to the standards, this is an official equivalent. If the standards don't provide us with an equivalent material, we will try to help you through other sources. Yes, through chemical composition 100%, through other sources, for example, information coming from brochures or technical data sheets. And if that doesn't help you, we also have our implicit, where you'll be able to find an implicit equivalent material. And then last but not least, we also have our smart cross. And through our smart cross, you'll be able to find a similar material through our algorithms. Yes. All right, so we're going to choose a standard, a GB standard from China, and then automatically you'll be able to see that we have found 10 equivalent materials. And all these 10 equivalent materials are coming directly from the standards. Yes, you can see the equivalency official. You can then start comparing them one by one. You can compare the chemical composition, you You can compare the mechanical and physical properties and all the other values as well. But what you can also do is upload all of these materials onto a list of materials. Yes, this list of materials you can save, and then you can be able to save this inside My Console. And then if you want, take a look at this at another time, or you can also forward this information to your colleagues by forwarding them just a simple link. And of course, after that, you can of course start comparing the materials. You can analyze the materials and see if they're compliant according to REACH or ROS, and find those other regulations that you might be needing. All right, let's now go to the advanced search. Through our advanced search, you can actually do a material selection. So what we're doing here right now is choosing the ferroalloy. We're choosing some properties, adding some values, adding some temperatures, and you can also add some heat treatment diagrams, and then find a list of materials, yes, that come out from what you've added as properties. The more properties that you add to the advanced search, the lower the result will be. Just be careful, please, because if you add too much criteria to the advanced search, please don't be surprised if the result will be 0. So we have here 19 materials, and these 19 materials now we again are going to forward on to our list of materials, yes. And what's a nice thing about this is every result list has a plus button on the left-hand side. And this plus button, you can then add those properties with columns that you want to see even before you want to start comparing these materials side by side. So we're going to add some yield strength, some tensile strength, and you'll be able to see already here the minimum to maximum values and approx values of all of these properties that we've already added as well. All right, so these materials, we're going to select all of them, and now we can start comparing them. Just one moment, I again made a mistake. This is a great recording. So here we go. So you can actually start comparing these materials next to each other. You can then see the chemical composition, the mechanical properties, and the physical properties as well. And what you can also do is you can pin down those materials, and those pinned down materials you can forward to a PDF, or again forward to your report builder to justify that material decision that you're making as well. What you can also do is duplicate a material inside the comparison view, and this time look at the same material, but you can then choose a different reference, a different standard. So we're looking at the same material, but then coming from the different reference as well. So this is also possible. But now, since a few weeks now, we also have a new comparison view as well. This is called the Comparison Pro. So for all the pros out there, this is a great way to use the new comparison view. So again, you can forward all this materials inside the Comparison Pro view, and then again add only those properties that you want to compare. So you'll not only see all the properties, but you'll only see the properties that you want to see, and you'll be able to see these properties and their values next to each other. Yeah, so it's a really easy way of doing that. You can then, of course, filter them as well to put them how you want to. You can pin them down, and you can also, what's also nice regarding this is you can even add some ROS and REACH columns to see at the same time. You can see which material is the most compliant, but at the same time, you'll be able to see if these materials are equivalent, compliant, and also see which materials are the cheapest to use as well. You can see this comparison view in a table view, also in a vertical view, and then once you've made your decision, you can pin down those materials and forward them again to your list builder, and then from there onto your report to justify again that decision that you want to make. All right, we also have another comparison view called Property Comparison. We can see here a scattered chart of all the materials, yes, material 1 till 19, and then you'll be able to see those minimum to maximum values according to impact, yes. We also have a radar chart. This is a really easy way to see all the properties in one time. So you can see here tensile strength, yield strength, and impact in one time to see actually how close and which material you might want to use in a future time. Also, we have a comparison view called analytics. Through analytics, you can add the two most important properties that you want to see, and then you'll be able to compare those two most important properties inside a diagram. You'll be able to see the minimum to maximum values, and then you can even click inside the material to see then, for example, the tensile strength versus the temperature, or the yield strength versus the temperature as well. This is a quick view of our compliance assessor, where you can assess up to 100 materials at the same time. So you can put up to 100 materials here, select the country, select the region, select the compliance and regulations that you want to assess, and then you'll be able to assess in one time all of these materials in one time. And then, of course, these materials you can forward to PDF and forward this to your colleagues or to your managers, for example, to tell them, okay, guys, these materials are compliant according to a certain regulation. So that was pretty fast. I'm getting a dry mouth here, so I'm just going to take some tea. If anybody here wants a proper hardcore introduction and a proper one-on-one or a demonstration for the company, please let us know, and we'll be able to organize this a private demo for you. It's not a problem. Please, you can write down in the chat functionality or anywhere where you want, or mail us to let us know if you might be interested in this. All right, so we've been talking about total materia very fast, actually. However, we also have other solutions. And what I want to talk to you about today is our total materia integrator. This is our data management solution, your own private database, yes? And through our integrator, you can add all your own material information. You can add your legacy data, your test data. You can add your CAE data. Also, you can manage the users. What are those users are allowed to see? Are they only allowed to see your internal materials, or are they also allowed to see external materials coming from total materia? We can also export all the data, internal data, directly onto your tools. We can also add your private compliance information. We can also create a RESTful API, which is pretty important for a lot of companies. We can install this private solution onto your own server. This is kind of for security policies, but if you want, we can also just keep it on our server as well. And what's also nice about this, that all of this information, all of this, maybe this approved information that you might be gathering, yes, you can then upload onto your PLM system and integrate this inside your PLM system. And then if wanted, your colleagues can go from those tools that they're using into the PLM system and take those approved materials from the PLM system as well. Yes. So yeah, what is our experience, and how can we actually help you achieve this? Yes. So let me just click on all of these buttons. Yes. So we've been doing this for years. We have a lot of experience in material information. We have also a lot of experiences with the private data management solutions for a lot of companies out there. We've been doing this for a long time. And we have a lot of expertise in organizing material data. Yes, we have a modern, secure IT platform, and also a lot of security policies in place to help you secure that material information that you're having. We can even add single sign-on if needed. Yes. We also have a lot of experience exporting or importing your own data inside our solutions through all different kinds of formats. But very important, we have a lot of engineers and IT and development colleagues that are non-stop doing this, and we will give you a lot of support. So during the whole process, we will give you our full support in helping you develop and integrate all your material information. And this will be doing this all year round. What's also nice is, what about the materials engineer? Yes, so what can Total Materia do as well? So we have a lot of data inside Total Materia, 700,000 materials that is reliable, coming from standards and proprietary sources. Yes, and what you can do is actually copy this information and make those materials your own. Yes, you can add your own defined properties, user-defined properties. And then also make those materials that you approve inside the integrator as well, so that engineers don't only look at all the materials and use all those materials inside the solution, but only maybe able to see those approved materials that the management has approved. So we have a lot of capabilities, and this is just a few of the many that we have. So we have reusable and custom taxonomy for materials organizations. We can also import templates of material information as well. Also test data we can import as templates as well. This will be really easy for you to import all that information that you want to do. We can also have live links and also copy information from Total Materia and put this inside your personal database as well. This because we can also approve materials, yes, inside database. This will give the engineers a lot of confidence and understanding which materials they should use. Also, all the data that is inside the private data management solution is your data. It is your data, nobody else's. So if one day you want to easily export all this data in one time, you can do this, yes? So you can have an easy export bulk onto a certain format or onto a tool if needed. Also, you can also define your own user properties as well. So if there's some properties that we don't have inside Total Materia, you can actually define those own properties and make them inside your private solution as well. So this recording is a little bit less than the previous one, so this will go a little bit faster. So this is how our data management solution looks like, the Total Materia integrator. You can already see here, we have here your materials and here Total Materia materials. So if you only want to see internal materials, you can then put the slider to the left. If you want to see internal materials and Total Materia information, you can put the slider in the middle. If you only want to see our data, you put the slider to the right. Yes, but for now, in the recording, you see that we have put all the information on the internal materials, and then my colleague will look for a material, for example, the Inconel 718, and then we're going to press on search. Once we press on search, you can then see that this is an internal material, Inconel 718. This is an internal material. This is your material, and you can see also the classifications as well. Once you click on the material, you'll be able to see that it kind of looks a lot like our Total Materia solution, yes? So on the right-hand side, you can see the chemical composition, mechanical and physical properties. You can also add documents, yes, your own documents, your PDF or Excel sheets, and you can also add your compliance data or advanced properties as well. What's also nice to show you is here the compliance general. So at the same time, you can see if this material is approved. You can see if this is an internal material, but at the same time, you'll be able to see if this material is compliant according to a certain regulation as well. We call this kind of a stoplight solution. So you can see that the mouse is going to the right. You can see that we have metallography data, documents, which you can add as well. So you can see here all the documents that you have internally. You can import into TMI, Total Materia Integrator. And you'll also be able to see at the same time, all the stress strain diagrams and compliance data as well. What's also nice is if you are allowed to go and see advanced properties, yes, if the user management says that you are allowed to go inside the extended range data set, you can access it. But if the user management says, no, we don't want the purchasing department, for example, to look at advanced properties, then we can block this for that certain department as well. So this is just an example quickly, which we made. All right. So here we clicked on the mechanical properties. You can add the references again, where we got this information from. And at the bottom, you see here the conditions. So we have 3 internal conditions, and all the way at the bottom, you see those properties and information, internal information that we've inserted to the solution. All right, not only you'll be able to see your own materials, but you'll also be able to see the total material database information as well. So now you can see here the Inconel 718 internal material, but you can also see now all the other Inconel 718 coming from other sources around the world, or coming from proprietary sources or standards as well. Again, we're hovering over the SAE standard now, and then you can see actually that we have different information for this material. So you can see, again, mechanical properties, physical properties, and on the right side, all this different kind of information. Here's the synthetic view, and we scroll up again. So what's also very important to tell you is that, of course, we have something called the creator. Yes, so when you press on the creator, you'll be able to see all the list of internal materials in one time. And the creator part is usually for the administration or power users out there. So you have administration users, which means they can add the users or select what they're allowed to see. You have then the power users, which maybe will be able to add materials, maybe edit the materials, or maybe approve the materials, yes. And then we have the common users, which will only be able to see the information that we have inside the total material integrator. You can, of course, also create a new material, yes. So when you press on create new material, you'll be able to add properties and information that you want to add. We can also add, through our data maintenance, we can also add a group of material. We can also add their properties, but also very important, we can also add suppliers. So if you have a supplier, you can also add all the supplier information coming from that source. Again, you can also bulk the export. So you can press on bulk export to export in one time all your internal material to a certain format. All right. So again, total material integrator is a completely different topic than the total material horizon, our reference data. If somebody is interested in talking about their own private database, about how we can develop this, how we can insert your private information, how we can connect this to API, how we can install this on your own server, what are the security policies. If anybody is interested in talking about this, please let me know, write in the chat functionality, and we'll get back to you, and then we'll be able to organize a better introduction and also show you a proper demo of the solution to you. Today is just more about a small introduction just to show you what we have, but if you want to go into more deeper, please let us know. All right, for now, Stefan is going to carry on. I'm going to take a break. Stefan?
Thank you, Tim. So we're going to move on to the total material predictor. So as Tim previously mentioned, this is an alternative solution for dealing with missing gaps of information for different materials. So the machine learning models were developed and trained by tapping into and using the entire total material horizon data scope, which is the largest available data set online. And this is actually what Predictor is based on. So the value that's actually gained from Predictor is helping you to fill all those missing properties of material data to improve the quality of your simulations and to also help you save time and money on physical testing. So now I'm just going to, we're going to take a look at Predictor in action. It's a very, very short clip. So it's just to show you what actually it can do. So using the Total Materia Smart Conf, we can import a previously prepared Excel file containing the chemical composition of an unknown material. as you can see on your screens. So what we'll do then is we will search for this material which matches that imported chemical composition. And as we can see, the material which has been found is a cast steel coming from the Chinese GB standard, which in this case does not have any physical properties, as you can see on the right-hand side. So what we're going to do is that through Predictor and through its deep learning function, it is actually possible to predict certain physical properties at a given temperature range. So this is exactly what's happening on your current screens. My colleague was selecting the modulus of elasticity as a property and putting a temperature range of between -200 degrees Celsius to 330 and predicting those values for the modulus of elasticity. Here you can also see the accuracy of the given model. So that's something also to keep in mind. So let's explore another quick example. So in this case, we are looking for yield strength values for the aluminium 7075 at various temperatures heat treated at T8. So using the curated data of the total material horizon, we are firstly going to find this material using its numerical designation, and we're going to explore the data sets which are already available to us. So as you can see, we're looking for the property, which is yield strength, and we want to see also the heat treatments that are available. So having noticed that we cannot find any available T8 data, we can search for this material using our predictor solution, whereby we're going to input all those parameters which are of interest to us. In this case, as you will see, it's going to be yield strength values at a range of temperatures. So here we're searching for the T8 heat treatment, putting in the dimension, putting in the type of product in terms of the type of form, putting in longitudinal direction, and also selecting the different temperature ranges as well. And what this does is, again, using the machine learning, it helps us find a model. And what you can do is you can use these results, you can add them to a report builder, as my colleague has done. You can go to this report, you have it in graph format, you have it in table format, your predicted results. And what you can do is you can share this report and share this link between your colleagues to really showcase those results and those properties that were missing beforehand. So that, again, was just a brief introduction into Predictor, just to show you its actual capabilities and just a preview of what that potentially can do. So again, like Tim said, if you guys are interested in this, please let us know in the chat box and we will get in touch separately regarding the Predictor solution. And lastly, moving on to Greenline, something which I think will be exciting for quite a lot of people. I know this is actually my favorite solution. So we have our total Materia Greenline. So obviously, compliance is such a huge thing nowadays across so many organizations, irrespective of how big or small the organization is. And using non-compliant materials can have severe and costly outcomes for an organization. So what does the Total Materia Greenline do? So the Total Materia Greenline can provide simultaneous assessment of compliance for up to 100 metallic and non-metallic materials against more than 20 global regulations. Greenline also allows you to carry out an assessment of the environmental impact of the material, which is very important, of course, to meet all those sustainability requirements, something which is obviously very stringent, as you may all know. And lastly, Greenline can also carry out a full assessment of the compliance of the bill of materials according to a wide range of global regulations. And speaking of the bill of materials, we have a BOM assessor tool, which allows you to assess your bill of materials to quickly find those non-compliant components which you may be using. So as you can see on your screens, it is possible to create a new BOM, whereby in this case, we can actually import a previously prepared BOM, and we can assess all our individual materials or components for different world regulations. In this example shown on your screens, we have selected the European RoHS and REACH regulations, as well as the California Proposition 65. As you can see, we can see that there are certain components which are actually not compliant to the California Proposition 65. So what we can do is we can export all of the data, all of this information in Microsoft Excel, and you can actually share it with your compliance team, who can then look for suitable alternatives which are compliant to the selected regulations. Very simple and very quick as well to use. The other feature of the Greenline solution is the LCA. So LCA, or also known in its full form as life cycle assessment, whereby you can actually do a full assessment of the environmental impact of a material. So the scope which Greenline covers is from cradle to gate. So let's explore this a little bit further through this short video and see how it works. So here you can select your list of materials which you would like to assess from your material list builder, and then you can forward them to this LCA assessor. You can select the midpoint indicators which you will use in your assessment. In this case, we have selected climate change and energy demand as indicators. You can conduct your calculation. And then what it does is it ranks the materials in order in terms of those which have the least greenhouse gas or CO2 emissions, and those which are the most environmentally friendly as well. And again, what you can do is you can export all this data in Excel format and easily share this with your compliance teams. So that was just a brief intro again into Greenline, and again, just please let us know if you are interested in this. Please let us know in the chat box on your right. And Tim will now take over just to close with the last remaining slides.
Thank you, Stefan. That was brilliant. So Total Materia is not just only meant for the materials engineer, but actually almost every engineer in every department needs somehow correct, reliable material information, yes? So for example, the material specialists, they need almost everything that we have to offer. They also need the mechanical properties, the physical properties. They need to maybe to see if the material is corrosion proof, what is the information regarding a joint or a weld, and this they'll be able to find here. Also the product stewards. They need to understand if that material that they're using is compliant according to a certain regulation. Quality departments need to identify a material through chemical composition. Purchasing departments need to see if the equivalent, maybe need to find an equivalent material from another standard, or even see which material is the most cheapest to use as well. Because on Total Materia, you'll not only just be able to find the most equivalent material, but also the cheapest material available. Also, last but not least, also the CAE simulation specialists need those advanced properties for their simulator tools. And also the CAD and manufacturing engineers, all those properties and values that we might, that you'll be able to find in those reliable sources. So, can you trust in Total Materia? So absolutely. We are the only database in the world, yes, that get information directly from the standards, directly from the sources, which we update every month of the year. So as soon as a new standard comes out, we immediately purchase this new standard for you to take a look at. Yes, so all the newest available material information you'll be able to find. We are also the only ones with the ISO certificates, 9001, 27001, 27701, which is really important for privacy rights. And now, since a few months now, we also have the very code for continuous software security processes. Thank you, Stefan. I'm stumbling over my words. On the right-hand side, you can see also the tracker data, so you can actually see every month how we've been updating the data that we have inside Total Materia. So the next steps, what are the next steps? So you can see on the right-hand side our contact data. You can see Stefan with his email address, so you can connect with him if you want to have a private introduction or a more to the point demonstration of your needs. So it's really important for us to understand what you need, so we can communicate regarding that. You can, of course, we can of course organize a private demo, so we can show you exactly how we can solve your needs. Then, of course, you can test the solution. You can explore our features. We can then understand what else we need to do, how we can solve your problems, and then we can follow up regarding that and see what those next steps will be after that.
And just before we end this, we just kindly ask you to fill out a poll, which just has one question, just showcasing your major interest after today's webinar with us. So what we're going to do is we're just going to launch it right onto your screens. You'll get it now. It's absolutely up to you. It's completely, entirely up to you how many answers you would like to fill, but it is multi-answer. So we'll launch this now, and just please let us know once you're done.
All right, that's it from our side. We're literally 4 minutes over time. Sorry about that. I hope it was interesting. Please, if you have any questions, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to answer any of the questions that you have. We will also send everybody here the PowerPoint and the recordings to you. So if you want, you can take another look at it. And then hopefully we will hear from you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stefan.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.